Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing chapter number 1 part 4 of digital media course. In this part we are going to talk about cloud computing, the definition of cloud computing, the difference of cloud computing with the traditional desktop computing and impacts of the cloud computing on digital media. So we have three agenda items for today. Starting with the definition of cloud computing, we'll discuss what is cloud computing, and we will also discuss different models of cloud computing. Then we will discuss the difference between cloud computing and traditional desktop computing. The desktop computing mean where you use your personal computers or the personal devices to store or process to manage your data or information. So traditional desktop computing. And last but not the least, we will discuss models of cloud computing. There are three models which we're going to talk about today. One is called software as a service. Software as a service, also known as SaaS, SaaS. Second model is called platform as a service. And the third model which we will be discussing is called infrastructure as a service. So these are the three main agenda items which we are going to discuss today. One more thing which I will give you overview, that is impact of cloud computing on digital media, like with the introduction of cloud computing, how we manage, how we process over digital content, digital information. So first of all, let's start with the definition of cloud computing. Since we're going to talk about cloud computing, so we need to understand what exactly the term cloud is, like cloud in terms of computers, what exactly the cloud is. So cloud is nothing but it's the interconnected computers hosted over internet. Like for example, just to give you an example, for whenever you access your emails, so whenever you access your Hotmail or for example Gmail using your typical browser, what typically you do? Typically you visit a web server, which is basically hotmail.com or for example Google or gmail.com. What happens, your emails or your other stuff like deleted email and other stuff is mainly located or stored over the cloud, over the server. Okay, that is basically a cloud. So if you want to define what is a cloud, cloud is basically large group of interconnected computers. And computers mean these are not the traditional PCs, these are servers hosted over internet. So large group of interconnected computers hosted over internet is called cloud. And I believe everybody is well familiar about internet. What is internet? Internet is basically a network of interconnected computer networks. So it is the network of interconnected computer networks. Internet is basically, whenever you connect your computer, your device with internet, your device becomes a part of internet. So internet is a physical network where we have all these servers, all the clouds and everything. Okay, it's basically a network of networks. That's a simple form. If I just visualize you how big an internet is, just to give you an example. So at your home, like first of all, understand what is a network. I believe everybody know what is a network. Network is the connectivity of two or more computers. When you connect two or more computers, why we connect them? So they can start sharing the information and resources. So they can start sharing information and resources. That's the ultimate objective of designing a network. So what we were discussing, we discussed that what is a cloud? Cloud is something which is a group of computers or servers hosted over internet. And these servers are connected, like all these computers are connected with each other, like these servers connected with each other and can be accessed. If you want to access them, you can access them via internet. You can access them via internet. These are located over internet. That is called cloud. And if you want to define what is internet, internet is the network of interconnected computer networks. Network, if you want to define what is a network. So network is when you connect two or more computers so they can start sharing information or they can start sharing the resources is called a network. The smallest network type is called local area network, LAN. Local area network, like the network at your home. At your home, if you see the scenario, at your home, for example, you guys have this router and all these devices are connected, like your computer, your laptops, for example, your cell phone or other devices are connected with this router. So this is called a local area network, a network within the building, within the organization. And when and this local area the router is connected with ISP, and ISP is further connected with internet. Got it? So local area network is a network within the building, within your home is called a local area network. And there is a term which is called, next to local area network, that is called WAN, wide area network. So wide area network, what is that? When, let's say I have one GGC campus here at Lawrenceville. For example, if we have another GGC campus, for example, in, let's say, New York. So if we have another GGC campus at New York, and if you want to connect these two, again, at Lawrenceville campus, we have a local area network, a network devices connected in the same geographical area. At New York, we got another local area network. If you want to connect these two local area network, we connect them by using internet, or you can say ISPs. For example, GGC will be connected with the Comcast. The Lawrence will be connected with Comcast. New York might be connected with the nearby ISP of Comcast, and these are connected with each other through internet. This is called wide area network, where we connect two or more local area networks using public network or using ISPs. This is called wide area network. Okay. And if you connect all the wide area networks across the globe, let's say GGC, Google, Facebook, all the wide area networks across the globe, it is called internet. So network of interconnected computer network is called internet. So let's say if you connect all the networks, all the devices, then it forms internet. So I believe everybody got the idea. So let's coming back to our main topic, which is cloud. What is a cloud? Large group of interconnected servers hosted over internet. Now, what is cloud computing? If you use this cloud, like use of cloud to manage, store, or process the data. Process the data is called cloud computing. Cloud computing. So when you use the cloud, and what is a cloud? Cloud is basically the servers located over internet, a computer located over internet, which you can access via internet. So if you use this cloud to manage your data, manage your resources, to store your data or process your data, it's called cloud computing. So this is the definition of cloud computing. Let's move on to a second agenda item, difference between cloud computing and traditional desktop computing. Let's see what is the main difference. So for the cloud computing, if you see the cloud computing, what is that? What we do on the cloud computing? Let's say if there is a software application, for example, let's say Google Docs. If you just Google Docs, or for example, Google Slides, these are basically the software applications. Do you have to download Google Docs in order to use Google Docs? Let's say you want to create a document on Google Docs. You can access Google Docs, you know what? How? By just visiting a website, and you can start typing it. You can take a printout and everything. So software applications or files are hosted over internet. So these software applications, you don't have to download on the local computer. No download is required. No downloading is required in order to use those software applications. So you can directly use the application because those applications are hosted over the cloud, and cloud servers, interconnected servers hosted over internet. While in desktop computing, if you want to use a software application, let's say Microsoft Word, so software application must be downloaded and installed on local computer. So on local computer, local PC, you need to download and install that particular software application which you want to use. Cloud computing, for example, on cloud computing, you can store the documents over the cloud. Store the documents over the cloud, which can be accessed via internet. For example, OneDrive. For example, your Google Drive. So these are the examples of cloud computing. Like you can use your cloud in order to store the document, or in order to, for example, if you want to like OneDrive and Google Drive, you might have used that. While in desktop computing, we need to store the documents on the local hard drive. So documents are stored on local hard disk or hard drive. That's the major difference between desktop computing and cloud computing. You can run the application over the cloud. You don't need to download. You can upload the document, download the document, and if you want to access those documents, you can access those documents by logging into your OneDrive or Google Drive. While in desktop computing, you have to keep the computer all the time with you. Next is the models of cloud computing. That's the last agenda item for today. And as I discussed, there are three types of model of cloud computing. One is software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Software as a service, SaaS, software as a service. What does it mean, or what exactly it does? It allows, like your cloud could be software as a service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as a service. So it allows users to run applications like software applications over the cloud. For example, let's say your Google Calendar. For example, your banking applications, etc. All these are called software as a service. For example, Google Search as well. This is again a software as a service. It takes your input and give you based on your input, it gives you the output as well. This is called software as a service, where you don't have to download a software on your local computer. You can use, or you can run the application over the cloud. Then we got platform as a service, PaaS as a service. On the platform as a service, what we can do is it allows users to create, or you can say develop and upload applications over the cloud. And examples of the platform as a service is, for example, let's say the Google App Engine. Where you can directly you can directly design the applications, and you can upload the applications on the platform as well. And then we do have another platform as a service like Wix.com. On the Wix.com, what you can do is you can create the web applications, and directly you can upload the web applications over the Wix platform. They allow you to do that. So in platform as a service, they provide you a platform, and you can upload the applications over the platform. The last one is the infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure as a service, and what we can do with infrastructure as a service, it provides computing resources. Computing resources, most of us, we use this as well. Computing as a service, so provide resources. For example, what kind of computing resources? Let's say storage devices, the virtual computers, or they do provide you the networks. So like storage mean you can upload your stuff, you can download your stuff. Virtual computers, I will show you in the class, and of course the virtual network, I will show you in the class. So mainly the platform as a service is mainly used by developers. If you want to develop something and all that stuff, so developers typically use platform as a service. The software as a service and infrastructure as a service is something where which we typically the typical users, the internet user, they do use that. The last thing right here is the impact of cloud computing on digital media. Like with the introduction of cloud computing, what is happening? With the introduction of cloud computing, what is happening? Sharing of file. Like how do we share the file? Let's say if a file is over the cloud, and if you want to share the file with somebody, so sharing of files are typically over internet. So if you want to share the file, you will share the file over internet. You can send the link of the file, or even you can download those files as well. But it is much more convenient that you can share the file over internet. While in the desktop computing, if there is a file stored on your computer, and if you don't have internet access, we can share files, sharing files using optical disks or thumb drives or USBs. And other than that, cloud computing, that does provide you a creating environment, like creating applications. Like you can directly create applications, or you can deploy the application as well. So file creation or application creation became much easier. You can create the file like Google Docs, for example, Wix, where you can upload the web page as well, or you can create a web page as well. For the cloud computing, we need internet access. Without internet, we cannot access the cloud resources. While in the desktop computing, if you want to access your resources, the advantage is no access of internet is required. No access of internet is required. So like if you want to access the resources, you can directly access the resources without internet access. But in the case of cloud, you have to get there with the internet. So that's it about chapter number 1, part 4. If you guys will have any questions, then please do discuss with me in the class. Thank you.